I'm outside, I'm telling a story from my childhood, and while I'm telling the story, Louise is outside and I'm throwing leaves on top of her because she loves to borrow out from under the leaves. The whole 5 minutes that I tell the story, Louise keeps trying to climb in my lap, and I'm a little distracted, so I hum and haw a lot. I could edit this thing or do it over, but that's never going to happen in the time I've got left, so you're getting a story with lots of interruptions because I'm a little distracted with the snake trying to climb on my lap. Memory of, I must have been 14 or 15. And a teachable moment materialized in my life, and my mother felt like teaching at that moment. Did a brilliant job. The rumbling is Brian picking up leaves over there, and here's Louise in the leaf pile, and she loves her leaf pile. It's just covered over with leaves, and she borrows herself back out. Anyway, we're in a mall, and I've just walked into a newsagent's shop and bought a magazine. It was an educational thing aimed at kids. I don't remember what it was called. It was actually quite well done. It did not talk down to kids. I don't remember what it was called. Doesn't matter. The store was deserted. My mother gave me, like a $5 rand note, and I paid for this magazine. The mall was quiet as well, and at that moment my mother was not lost in her own world or distracted with people, but she was actually looking at me and smiling and enjoying my company, which was pretty damn unusual. I was walking along and finally got around to staring at the change in my hand and looked at it and said, "Oh, this is wrong. She's given me the wrong change." And then, being the math nut, I had immediately figured out in my head the mistake she'd made, which is that she had mistaken a $10 bill for a $5. And I pointed out what had happened, and my mother said, "Well, what do you want to do about it?" And we're continuing to walk. I think I came to a stop, and I was looking back at the newsagents, and I said, "Well, she's a nice lady. I don't want to steal money from her. Would she get in trouble for this?" And my mother said, "Yeah, well, think about it. Your sister comes home. She's just started that job at the grocery store, and at the end of the night, the manager comes over and counts the contents of the till and how much they've taken in bank bags during the day. So, and if it doesn't settle exactly, your sister gets, the difference gets taken out of her paycheck, remember?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's yucky. I don't want that. She's a nice lady in the magazine show. I don't want to steal from her." And Mom said, "Well, okay. What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want to go back. Is that weird?" And my mother said, "No, it's not weird. Let's go back." So we went back. And the gal and the newsagent was very pleasant and very surprised to get her money back, and did the right thing. She made a point of being very complimentary and kind, and mentioned the fact that not a lot of kids would do that, and I had done something right. I think she gave me like there was something on near the till, maybe one of those erasers that you put on the end of a pencil that's shaped like a funny animal, something like that. She gave me that just to say thank you. Anyway, that was it. But that was a moment that my mom actually took a second to make me think about it on my own, and make me decide on my own what I wanted to do about it. Now, I guess what I never asked was what would have happened if I had decided to keep the money, and how I would have, whether she would have made me think it through and come to the conclusion that was lousy, or quite what. That's my story.